Kia ora koutou, I'm Lockie, Kiwi vegan granddad, and I'm going to be cooking something different today with an ingredient that you may not have come across before, and that is Soya Chaap. This is made out of soybeans. It's mashed into a paste, mixed in with some flour to make some dough, which is then, as you'll see, wound around little sticks. There's quite a few sticks in this can, and this is sort of what it looks like. So what I'll be doing is just cutting these off the sticks. So it's like a little I guess like a little bit like an ice cream stick. And what I'll be doing today is making a butter sauce, vegan butter sauce, so a bit like what you might get with like buttered chicken. This is actually a recipe that I got online from a really good site called Vegan Richer, which has a lot of Indian recipes, and I find the recipes really good, so I'm using the sauce. Their recipe was making vegan butter chickpeas, but pretty much you can use the sauce with all sorts of different things. You could use it with tofu, with different other kinds of beans, whatever you like. The sauce itself is gluten-free, but of course these have got flour in them, so they are not. So if you want to make it totally gluten-free, then I suggest something like tofu or beans of some kind. I think white beans would work really well with this recipe. Right, so I'm just going to chop these into bits. When you look at the side of the can, it sort of suggests, I guess, that you have them whole with the piece of wood inside of them, grill them or fry them, that kind of thing. I'm not doing that today. Well, not with the sticks inside of them. So where did I get this chap from? I'm guessing that's the right way to say the word. From an Indian grocer who sells all sorts of really interesting things. Now the original recipe doesn't ask for the chickpeas to be sauteed, but I think I will just give these a bit of a saute. Now you could use oil, but I've got some vegetable ghee here, which I also got from the Indian shop. So ordinary ghee is clarified butter, but this is made out of oils and such like. The original recipe called for tomato puree. I don't have any, so I'm going to make some. So I've got a tin of tomatoes here, and I'm just going to whizz them up to make a puree. And with this, we'll go a tin of coconut cream. with a good dollop of vegan yogurt. So the original butter chicken recipe, I guess, it has a lot of dairy in it. By using the vegan yogurt and the coconut cream, we get the same sort of effect. We want to put some flavours into this while it's cooking, so we'll put 2 generous teaspoons of garam masala. You could put in something like paprika if you wanted to, but I am putting in some Kashmiri chilli, so it's not particularly strong chilli, but about half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of salt, 2 or 3 bay leaves if you've got them, then some garlic powder. I would just go for a neat teaspoon. The last ingredient at this stage is some kasuri methi, which is dried fenugreek leaves, also available at your Indian grocer, as a generous teaspoon. I'm going to cook that for another 5 or 6 minutes. It'll thicken up, and I'm going to have it for dinner later tonight. It'll be even thicker again once it's cooled down. So even though I put some of the Kashmiri chili in this, it is not hot at all. It's a really nice creamy dish. I'm going to serve this with some rice, and I'll garnish it. I'll put a little bit more yogurt in when I go to serve it, and I'll garnish it with some coriander, or as other people know, cilantro. Kia ora. So here is a photo of the final dish. We can see that the butter chaap has been garnished with some coriander leaves. Also, it's been served with some rice and some steamed broccoli and courgette. Okay, as usual, we'll have a few kupu Māori, a little bit of Māori vocab, and kōrero. Today we're going to be having a food-related whakatauki or proverb, and the words to keep in mind are tangata, meaning person, ti tongi tongi, which means to nibble at or peck at, ringa, which is your hand, and makona, is when your belly is full and you're feeling really satisfied. So the whakatauki goes, he kai nā te tangata, he kai ti tongi tongi. He kai nā tōna ringa, tino kai, tino mākona noa. So he kai nā te tangata, a food by the person or by another person. He kai ti tongi tongi is nibbling food. He kai nā tōna ringa, food from his hand, his own hand. Tino kai, real food. Tino mākona noa, really satisfying. So one translation, a little bit more poetic than what I've just done, is food provided by another merely tickles the palate, but food earned by one's own hands is truly satisfying. O ngā mihi kia koutou, hei kōnā.